Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of What's in a Corporate Startup. Today, I'm with Jochem Baars, who is today the CEO at Liante, but he was also the CEO of Tellow, a corporate startup helping freelancers control their books. What is that? Well, Jochem is going to fill us in on it. So welcome, Jochem, welcome.
Hi, Alfonso.
Jochem, Tellow, what was the problem you were trying to solve?
The big shoebox of any freelancer, any entrepreneur. Relieve them from the stress they have when they apply for the tax applications.
And in the market at that time, was there an opportunity for you to move in and take that space?
In the Netherlands, there are more than 300 bookkeeping systems for a market of 1 million freelancers. But the biggest competition was Excel. About 25% of any freelancer is using Excel as a solution. And we thought it would be best to come up with a better, cheaper, and faster solution.
There you go. And did the corporate company Rabobank send you down that lane?
Not willingly, maybe, but we were part of a Moonshot campaign, which we started in 2015. It was the first Moonshot campaign within Rabobank, and so we kind of had two ventures, trying entrepreneurship within the organization, see if it would stick, and the second one, creating a company.
So 2015, you go down this avenue of creating this startup, this corporate venture. And how long did it take until you got an MVP out?
The first MVP we got out was in September of 2015. We were 4 people without any knowledge of bookkeeping. So we had to find out as we went along.
Wow. And your role itself, you joined, you were the CEO of Tellow, but did your role change throughout the process? Did you have to be a jack of all trades to get this flying?
So my role didn't really change from that perspective, but it changes whenever you get more people in the team. So at first you're doing a lot of the stuff yourself. And I think the biggest change in any kind of company probably is from moving from doing things yourself to having enough belief in other people to do the things that you should or you want to do, actually. So not doing things is actually the biggest change in the whole process.
And one of my favorite parts of corporate startups is leveraging synergies and assets from the corporate company. Did you have a few that from the get-go you wanted to leverage from the bank or others that you did throughout the process?
Being allowed to move into the back end of the banking system, that is kind of a real advantage when you're inside the corporate. And I think during the journey we had, I think the other big asset, and people will really pause and think when I say this, but is having access to our compliance, legal, and risk team within the bank, because the bank is so heavily regulated. We were obliged to comply to everything the bank has to comply with. And that might seem as a burden, but it actually helped us move through audits in a real quick fashion. So we were the first bookkeeping system in the Netherlands, the youngest one to gain kind of authorization, which is kind of a brand on your product. It's a no-case stamp, and only 6 bookkeeping systems had received one. And to give you an example, Exact Software was already busy for 2 years to get the same name.
Very cool. And if we fast forward to today, is Tellow's raison d'être, their whole belief and their value proposition still based on deburdening freelancers? Is that still working for it?
I hope so. I'm not really part of Tellow anymore, but
That's
our
true,
firm
yeah.
belief was that everyone should become entrepreneur, or at least have the opportunity to do so. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs stumble or stop basically because they have this idea that they have to do a lot themselves, and they have to manage their own administration. And I think our basic task was to eliminate that worry for them. And I think we did.
Very cool. I've been on the website, but again, you moved on. You're now the CEO of Liante. And question I have for you, looking back on all this, looking at entrepreneurship, what do you wish you had done more throughout that project specifically?
Maybe talk to customers even more. I think that always creates insights. just being working on the product itself. So maybe not direct interaction, but also see how people are using your product. I mean, you can never take too much time to do so. I think that was a major part of my job. And the other thing is spend more time with the team. I really believe in creating a team. The team is the most important thing about any startup, even if it's a corporate startup. Creating a good team that can manage itself is one of the most valuable assets you could have as a company.
Jochem, this was actually very insightful. I really enjoyed learning about Tellow. I wish you and Leante, your new project, all the best. And thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you, Alfonso. It was great being in here.
And thank you for watching. If you want to find out more about Jochem and the way he views entrepreneurship, please listen to our podcast called Entrepreneur Stories. And if you know any entrepreneurs out there or corporate ventures, do email us. We're here.